It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know straight up, I did not see this one on the board, okay? I did not see a J.R. Writer, Joe Budden dispute ever happening in hip-hop media, on the blogs, on Twitter. Never really expected these two names to cross paths in any type of conversation. I'm gonna be all the way transparent with y'all. As I'm seeing their names come across in conversation, it looks very odd. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. J.R. Writer, I'm gonna go ahead and preface this. J.R. Writer is a dope artist, okay? Now today, he raps very different than what he used to, right? I remember being a big J.R. Writer fan back in probably like 2004, 2005, maybe. I know it was in that era when Dipset was like at the top, Jewels was that guy, and then J.R. Writer was like next in line right after Jewels, right? I know this because I was a East Coast hip hop aficionado, right? Being down here in Atlanta, you know, we had other stuff going on. We had the T.I.s out there. We had Jeezy right after that. We had all that. We had the Lil Jon movement, all that. I gravitated towards East Coast hip hop because that's who had the lyrics. That's who had the mixtapes popping. And it was just like an endless supply of music for me to gravitate towards. So I know all about these guys, the Joe Buddens of the world. Like, I was a big Joe fan throughout his career, especially early on. I had the first album, all this type of stuff. Just wanted to preface that and say I'm fans of everybody in this video, okay? So whatever gets said from here on out, I want you to know I'm familiar with your work, familiar with your talent. Don't take it personal. I'm just commentating on what's going on in the world. Joe Budden Podcast just released episode 666, which was a very anticipated episode because this is following Drake's response to Joe. You know what I'm saying? Doubling down on how he felt, saying things about his Best Buy microphones and all of that stuff. Unfortunately, episode 666 is not the one that everybody was looking forward to because the actual response from Joe Budden is on a Patreon exclusive episode. I'll probably never see it, never hear it, but I have seen clips from it. This was a pretty standard episode. They talked about Flip, Melissa, contract issues, the same stuff that they kind of discuss on their everyday stuff. However, at the end of the show, of course, you know, the Joe Budden Podcast, they do their sleepers. They play songs that are out there that people may not have noticed, songs that, you know, need the recognition, but also stuff that they're feeling at the time. You know what I mean? Queen's Flip plays a song from J.R. Writer, right? A song called Presidential, which actually came out about 5 years ago. He was digging into his Harlem bag. I mean, you got to be if you go to J.R. Writer. Somewhere within him playing this record, Joe Budden says, hey, you got to stop. You got to cut this shit off, man. We not doing that. Do you hear what this dude talking about? Talking about something, I got the game in a yoke. Who got the taste for omelets? We not doing that. He goes as far to say, please stop playing niggas that's not ready for the airwaves. Basically relegating J.R. Writer to an upcoming artist who does not know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Somebody who may have a little bit of lyrical talent, but the music ain't there yet, right? I'm going to go ahead and play the audio of what happened just so that y'all can hear it coming from the actual people who had the conversation. And then we'll get into J.R. Writer's reaction because he didn't take it so well. It seems like it's trending right now for people to be mad at Joe, especially people in the industry with music out. If he doesn't react positively to your music, it's the go-to to try to go at his neck. All right, let's play the little clip though.
Yo, get this shit the fuck out of here.
What's up with
It's over, yo. It's over, yo. Don't disrespect the airways with niggas that's not ready yet. Come on, yo.
Yo, what happened with you and this nigga, bro?
Who?
Why you always like, yo, what's up, my nigga? I be confused. You doing it again, throwing a nigga out there.
Oh, yeah, that's my man. But nah, J.R. Writer gotta stop. He has to stop that.
Stop
Got
what?
the game and the yoke, who got a taste for omelets? Stop, yo. Stop it. He did that at least 7 times in that quick little verse.
I think it's hot.
All right.
So those lines are
So
not
you got a
supposed to-
taste for omelets.
No, I don't, but I don't eat omelets. But those
But you
lines.
don't listen to lyrics either, though. And that's where I keep going wrong. I keep listening to lyrics.
So but you never give us
That's over with. Lyrics is over with, I think.
It feels that way.
And I'm the idiot nigga that keep coming in and talking about, I'm listening to lyrics. They're like, oh, why?
It's all about the vibe.
They're like,
Joe.
All right, so clearly this was not personal, right? he just didn't like the bars. He didn't like the lyrics. As somebody that listens to lyrics on a pretty consistent basis, I find myself in this position quite a bit. I find myself hearing, the trap, the drill artists, they're rapping, just saying shit, saying the same old shit, regurgitated, you know what I'm saying? It gets irritating to me, but of course, what they have in their favor is the beats. They have the cadences, you know what I'm saying? They have energy that can compel you and allow you to just keep listening to it because it fits in a certain tempo. It fits into a certain groove, a bop everybody's already familiar with. So it doesn't really stand out too much left or right from anything else, which means it's pretty much acceptable. But then you get artists like a J.R. Writer or certain artists that came out at an earlier period in hip hop, right? They came out being lyricists, came out doing the punchlines, came out with a certain flow, came out with a certain style of how they put their words together. And as time has gone by, some of those artists haven't evolved past the way that they approached music in those days, right? This is why sometimes a lot of the guys that came out in the 90s, the early to mid 2000s, they have trouble finding their space in the current landscape of hip hop because they're still trying to cater to an older style of music. Now, there are ways to do it. It doesn't mean that you have to make trap songs. It doesn't mean that you have to try to rap like the Migos, the Offsets. You don't have to try to get on a Lil Tyler kind of bop. I mean, the kid's like 17, 18 years old. If you're 30 something years old going on 40, you don't want to get in that bag. But there's ways to find balance between the two. Somebody who does that very well is Royce. He's an extreme lyricist, but he knows how to pick production that still kind of walks the line of current, but still not outdated. Not every artist knows how to do that. Not every artist has an A&R type mindset. Not every artist has an executive producer type mindset to put together that type of music. And that's where a lot of people suffer. I can't play the J.R. Writer song. I wish I could, just to give y'all a better glimpse at what we're hearing or what they were hearing, because unfortunately, he distributed this album that came out about 5 years ago. It was distributed through Video. Video is one of the big distribution channels out there where they're definitely going to collect content ID. They're going to be scouring the net for anything. And I don't want anything to hinder this video from going up when it needs to, or them trying to take the little dollars and cents that I make from this. If you want to get further context on this, the song is called Presidential. It's from his album The Upstage by J.R. Writer. It also features Hell Rel, if I'm not mistaken. So this is still that second generation Dipset thing. This was released in 2018. That's very good context because if you go back and listen to 2 Chainz 2018, it may still fit in today. You go back and listen to Young Dolph 2018, yeah. You go back and listen to, like I said, Migos 2018, Gucci Mane 2018. That stuff still sounds pretty competitive with what's out because that's music that really kind of set the tone for what's out right now. J.R. Writer rapping on a soul sample sped up in chipmunk format with bongos in the beat. That's still kind of jumping on 2005 trends, right? That's still jumping on when J.R. Writer was following in the footsteps of Killer Cam, using his flow, the hardest of artists, the yardest, the wildest, the bardest, the job and the daughter, the blog and the barb and the daughter. I'm talking with jogging, we walking in Target with dollars. Like, y'all remember when he was that guy. He don't rap like that no more, but the beat harkens back to that style. And again, there's a way to utilize that old format, that style where you could sample, you could still have the drums, but you gotta update the drum pack. There's too many drum packs out here, man. Cymatics will get y'all right for the free, okay? So there's different ways of approaching music in 2023 that's just not happening, or in 2018 for that matter, because even in 2018, this song probably wouldn't have worked in the marketplace. That's no knock against J.R. Writer. I'm just pointing out the obvious in terms of the musical creation. Everybody has to go back to the drawing board at some point. I have to consistently go back to the drawing board as an artist because I have not hit that plateau that I'm looking for. I'm always revising my style, my sound, looking for the next thing that's going to take me to the next level while still having lyrical content, substance, things to talk about, life stories to give people. It's just an ongoing thing. You never reach it, right? And even when you reach a certain place, you got to continue to grow. You got to continue to elevate in order to stay in your position and grow. But I'll digress on that. Here's what J.R. Ryder had to say in response to Joe Budden. One of the first things J.R. does is he posts some footage from Joe Budden battling Hollow to Dawn at the Total Slaughter battle where a lot of people feel like Joe got annihilated, right? He came to the stage trying to do what I'm talking about with J.R. Ryder. He came to the stage trying to write battle raps in the same format in which he was writing his songs. His cadence, the meter, I came through with the Glock, trying to do that. The pacing was off. The way he was stretching his words was off. You know what I'm saying? He was coming into a whole different arena, a whole different ball game. He basically walked into a baseball field trying to do a crossover. So JR quotes a part in the battle where Joe is like, and y'all keep booing the hard shit, because the crowd wasn't feeling him. They were booing him. He was having a very rough time. It was a very long night for Joe Budden on that motherfucking battle stage. Okay? And JR says, since you keep speaking on me, let's jump in the ring so I can smoke the shit out of you, bozo. If not, shut your hating ass up. LOL. Now, one thing that makes that statement unconvincing is when you put LOL at the end of it. If you would have kept it as it stood and just said, jump in the ring so I can annihilate you, take your ass out, and people know you serious, maybe Joe takes it serious. Joe comes back and says, now, JR, you don't even believe what you're typing to me, okay? Now, this was not the end of the exchange. JR definitely kept going. JR says, LOL, you have never been better than me. You wasn't even the best in your own group. And I'm dead serious. We can do it on Smack, RBE, Chrome. Pick one. He continues, 5 years ago, the JBP gave me props on the Upstage album. This is where things get a little tricky. 5 years later, Joe is on his podcast with new niggas, listening to the outro on that same album, talking about Turn It Off. And the trolls thought I was mad because he critiqued the new verse, LOL. I know it's going to be tough for JR because he's defending his own music. He's defending his craft, right? The thing of it is, sometimes your opinion of music can change, right? Your project dropped in 2018. They saluted you on that project. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it tall, right? As J.R. Ryder, they had some sort of remnants of respect. Maybe they heard a couple songs off the album, wanted to salute you, give you some pub on there. But most likely, they didn't listen to the entire album. I'm just going to assume. Not to mention, as I stated, the opinion can change. They heard it in passing. They might have gave it a nice run through back in 2018, and it was cool for what it was during that time period. Today, you play those same songs, and it is cut that shit off. The shit ain't fire no more. I thought that shit was fire the first time I heard it. Now with new ears, 5 years later, so much music that I've heard in the meantime, so many different trend changes, so many different whatever, you know what I'm saying? The punchline that got over when you said it in 2018 and I might have said it was fire. Today in 2023, it don't sound the same. It don't hit the same. It doesn't strike my soul the same. Nah, cut that shit off. It's not ready for today. Leave that where it was. That's not an indictment against you as an artist. It's more so an indictment against Queen's Flip saying, yo, we doing sleepers. We're playing shit that's current. We're playing shit that's out, that's moving, stuff that needs to be heard, needs to have a spotlight placed on it. J.R. Writers, who got a taste for Omelet's punchline from 2018, is not what the people need to hear right now. No disrespect to JR, but get this shit out of here. I totally agree. I have to be honest. Some people's music ages great over time. Some people's shit is just timeless. There's artists who have lines and lyrics and flows and just like poetic genius in their raps that will never not be that. Unfortunately, JR, we can't say the same for this particular record. But again, I understand you're defending your craft. JR is extremely triggered though. He keeps going. Okay, he took it from Twitter to his Instagram and says, Joe Budden has never been a better rapper than me in his life. He's going to continue with this narrative. His music run wasn't better. His group run wasn't better. His freestyle run wasn't better. And I rap better than he has ever rapped right now. Stop speaking on me. These are false claims. These are false statements, okay? Now, during the time when J.R. Ryder was hot and Joe Budden was hot at the same time, those Ryder Block mixtapes, hey man, y'all go back and listen to Writer's Block if you want to, okay? They're not classics. They were good for the time period, not classics. Joe Budden's Mood Music series can be played right now. Maybe not Mood Music 1. I wasn't the biggest fan of number 1. I really liked 2 and 3. Content-wise, never. Substance-wise, never. Penmanship, never. JR had a very dope flow for the time period. He had very dope punchlines. You want to talk about freestyles? When he went up on Flex, he rapped for like 10 minutes over the what up gangsta beat. Immaculate. Lyrics, everything was there. You know what I'm saying? Then it was the Cam hyping it up. That time, cool. Great. We thought you were going to be one of the next guys. It didn't pan out that way. You can't say that his run wasn't as good as yours because Joe Budden got hits. And he has more than one, actually. Pump It Up ain't his only popular song. He got a popular song with Tank. He got records with other artists. Slaughterhouse, they got some records. They sold some records. Their run independently probably eclipses what you and Hell Rail and 40 Cal were doing. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to keep it honest. As somebody that observed every era, we got to be honest. Dipset was iconic. Y'all, second era of Dipset was not iconic as the first. We know Cam Jewels, right? Jim Jones came and put his contribution in there. We know Freaky Zeke for his character. They introduced 40 Cal, Hell Rail, J.R. Ryder. You and 40 had punchlines crazy. You know what I'm saying? We understood that, but y'all's music did not catch. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that. But when you start trying to boast and try to shit on a nigga and hold your nuts, you got to understand you can't grab the planners on this one, man. Takes nothing away from your talent, though. Some people probably going to say I'm caping for Joe Budden, but I want y'all to honestly probably go on YouTube. The music is on here. Play the music. Play J.R. Ryder's Writer's Block series. Play Joe Budden's Mood Music series. Play Joe Budden's self-titled Joe Budden album. Come back to J.R. Ryder's material. Tell me who has the better songwriting. Tell me who has the better content in their music. Tell me who has more of a story. Tell me who made better songs to the listening ear. That's all I'm saying. I'm not biased to nobody. If you ain't making shit that I want to hear, I'm going to say just that. And people have the honest ability to say the same thing about me. If that's what you want to say, that's cool too. Makes me none. I'm going to be who I am and do what I do regardless. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. I'll see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mile. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble. New day, let's get it. Big chain, let's get it. More fame, let's get it. No shame, let's get it. New day, let's get it. Big chain, let's get it. More fame, let's get it. No shame, let's get it. I got 'em, get checked, no problem. Motivate like Wallow, chick gon' follow.